You hear of markets like Vancouver and Toronto being red hot, but has that happened here for Calgary real estate? What if as a buyer you get into a multiple offer situation for the home of your dreams? What are some of the tips that we recommend to our clients to maximize the chance of beating out other offers and win the Calgary home? Today, I'm gonna go through exactly what happened in the month of March in Calgary, how you should proceed if you are a buyer or seller looking to sell your home, and my top 5 tips on how to beat out the competition when facing competing offers at the end of the video. So you wanna make sure you stick around until then. If you're new to our channel, my name is Felix Chan, Calgary Realtor and mortgage broker with the Live Inner City Real Estate team, where we bring you the best Calgary real estate news, home tours, and mortgage tips. If you learn or find our videos helpful, then we would love for you to support our channel by subscribing and liking our video. YouTube gatekeeps the information that you see, so unless you tell them that you're interested, they will not show you. So make sure you go ahead and smash those 2 things. Let's talk about Calgary sales. We had a record month for Calgary real estate. We had more sales this year than the run-up in 2014, and it's been the strongest in Calgary since 2007. We had a monumental jump from February to March. In February, we sold 1,855 homes, which was already pretty strong. But in March, we increased it by about 1,000 homes to 2,903. That is a massive 56% increase month over month. And it's significant because historically, we see a 20 to 30% jump, not more than 50. We didn't even see these sales numbers in the 2013-2014 Calgary real estate run-up. Now here's the kicker. 25% of Alberta's GDP comes from oil and gas, and these impressive sales numbers have increased while the price of oil didn't even go up, and through a pandemic, higher employment, and more. Pulling up this graph of the sales per day in Calgary starting in early January, you can see that the sales have been going to the moon like cryptocurrency. Shout out to all those who have dived into that. We've talked about demand. Now let's talk about supply for the Calgary real estate market. As you can see by the graph, our inventory levels are lower than the average dating back since 2007. At the end of March, we had 445 fewer Calgary homes on the market than the same time last year. Buyers feel this squeeze, which is one of the reasons why they are FOMOing into the market and writing offers the day that they see the properties. This is what's causing a frenzy for Calgary real estate with new inventory that's priced right. That leads us to the result of the supply and demand picture: pricing. This is textbook supply and demand fundamentals. We know that demand is the strongest it's been since 2007, yet inventory is lower than normal levels. This is no doubt putting upward pressure on Calgary home prices at levels that we haven't seen since 2014. Last month, my partner Jazz mentioned that we saw between 1 to 5% positive appreciation across all property types. And if you haven't seen that video and you want to know what happened last month, feel free to check it out here. This month, Calgary homes have continued its upward trend. When comparing this March to last March, we saw Calgary home benchmark prices increase by 7%. If we look at this graph, which tells you the Calgary benchmark price throughout Calgary, it ranges from 4.3% all the way up to 9.4% increases in the north. Let's break this down into the type of home year over year. Detached homes, 8%. Semi-detached, 6%. Row housing, 3%. And apartments, 3%. To give you guys some context, with these increases, we've erased all of the home price declines going back the last 2.5 years. And now we're finding ourselves at prices equal to 2018 Calgary home prices. So we've talked about some of the really important things like supply and demand and pricing. But how does that impact you? Before I give you advice for buyers and sellers, I need to bring up 2 metrics to set the stage. First is the sales to new listing ratio, which what this means is for every new listing, X amount of them are actually selling. For our Calgary real estate market, we ended this month with a sales to new listing ratio at 75%. This means that 3 out of every 4 new listings are getting sold. This also means that we are now in full swing of a seller's market. Second, months of supply. Now this metric tells us what kind of market we're in, buyers, sellers, or balanced. The definition of it is based on the last month's sales. How many months would it take for the market to absorb all the existing inventory? For the Calgary real estate market, if we have between 2.5 and 4 months of supply, we're in a balanced market. Anything less than 2.5 months, we're in a seller's market. Anything more than 4 months, we are in a buyer's market. We started the month of March at 2.03 and ended it at 1.8. Let's break it down by Calgary home property types. Detached 1.17, semi-detached 1.6. Now these includes infills as well. If you want to know more about infills, we just dropped a video on an infill townhome where we went through the different sizes, pricing, and locations, and other info that you would need to know before buying an infill. You guys can check it out here. Row homes 2.2, apartments 4.02. So what does all of that mean to you if you're a buyer? Well, it means that if a home provides value with a condition, location, or price, you can expect to pay close to list price or more. You can also expect multiple offers. By the way, Jazz did an amazing video on multiple offer situations and how best to position yourself to beat out the competition and win. If there's any time to watch that video, it is now. Especially if you're looking to buy a Calgary home, there's a certain skill set that your realtor must have and strategies to employ to increase the odds of you winning. You guys can check it out here. Okay guys, here are some juicy tips for you to win in a multiple offer situation. Tip number 1, make sure your Calgary realtor has a pulse on the market at all times to notify you if there's any new hot listings. Tip number 2, if a new listing comes up, you have to drop everything you're doing to go see it. Tip number 3, make sure you are pre-approved and that your Calgary mortgage broker has a 90-day history for your down payment, all your income documents, including your pay stub, job letter, tax returns, and any other documents that they've asked for. Tip number 4, keep your offer clean. Now is not the time to ask the seller to professionally clean the house before possession. And tip number 5, understand what the most important things are to the seller and reflect that in your offer. These are all the things that you can do, but that's only 50% of it. The other 50% is purely dependent on your realtor. It's about how they position you as the buyer to the seller, how they present your offer, and the advice they give you prior to writing. It is a skill that comes with knowledge and experience, so make sure you choose who you work with carefully. Sellers. Based on the months of supply, the people who own detached homes, row housing, and semi-detached, you know that it is a seller's market in Calgary, so the market is in your favor. Now, there are many strategies to sell, but I'll share with you 2 today. Number 1, if your risk tolerance is a little bit higher, you can price it slightly below the market in hopes that you will get multiple offers. Or if you have the luxury of time, you may want to price your home at the higher end of market value. Now, the caveat is we won't know how long this momentum will last. So if you're putting your home up for sale in the coming weeks, call us, then you'll be safer to list it sooner than later. For condo owners, well, it's been a struggle, and trust me, I feel you guys. You're at the threshold of a balanced market and a buyer's market with 4 months of supply. And although I feel the inner city market is picking up steam with more sales and more showings, I don't feel that pricing has caught up just quite yet. Price your Calgary condo within market expectations. It's not the time to be greedy or to test the market. For investors, our team has been getting a ton of inquiries from you guys all over Canada and all over the world. For that, we're grateful. But this message is really for those who have seen our $460,000 investment property video that cash flows $600 per month. By the way, if you haven't seen it, check it out here. It's one of our best performing videos, so you don't want to miss it. In that video, we do show a half duplex with a legalized basement. Now, even though some of you guys have seen that video, some still want a single detached home. And I get it. It's more dirt you get to own, which is more valuable. But you're fighting an uphill battle. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Let me explain. With a detached home, you will not come close to finding a property of the same quality as the half duplex. You're not gonna cash flow nearly as much as $600 a month. You won't get free property management for 2 years. You're not gonna find a legal basement because they are rare, which means less cash flow. You won't get new and shiny, which is what tenants are looking for. And they are more picky now than ever. And you will be competing in the single detached market with other buyers. Let that sink in for a second. Most investors tell me they want cash flow and appreciation. But really, here's the biggest difference between the two. Cash flow is almost guaranteed every month, whereas appreciation is not. It just doesn't make financial sense, or from a risk perspective, when comparing new and shiny to older homes. Prices for those half duplexes have increased and they're nearing $500,000. And we anticipate they're gonna keep increasing because of rising costs. If you want a sound investment, give us a shout so we can help you generate wealth for your future. All right, guys, that's all I have. If you have found this valuable, then make sure you hit that subscribe and the notification bell to all so you get notified of our future videos. Timing has never been so important in the Calgary real estate market, so if you want time-sensitive news, make sure you smash those buttons. My name is Felix Chan, Calgary Realtor and Mortgage Broker with the Live Interstate Real Estate team, and we will see you in our next video.